Hey, what's up? So this time we're gonna do One Piece, very popular anime. It's also the only anime on the top 50 list that I have not completed because it's not done yet. That's it. So at the top 50, I've finished every anime except One Piece because I'm still waiting. So yeah, so here it is. We're gonna click it. There we go. Now that was kind of slow. Okay. There we go. So I'm almost caught up. I'm only like 15 or 20 episodes behind on One Piece. So yeah, I'm a One Piece fan. I watched a lot of it. I mean, like pretty much almost all of it. I mean, like I said, I'm only 15 or 20 episodes behind, and I've watched like almost all the specials. There's just like a few of the movies I have to watch, and that's it. I'll have everything to like watch. And as you can see, there's a huge list. There's a huge list associated with One Piece. All these anime here. So you can see there's some people don't like it, but most people do, and there's good reasons for not liking One Piece. So a lot of people there's a community that believes One Piece is the best anime ever made. I definitely don't agree with them. I have this score of 8.68 is really high. This is the Death Note Code Geass level. So is One Piece as good as Death Note and Code Geass? In my opinion, no, not at all. And I have plenty of reasons for that. Now, there's also some people that really hate One Piece. I'm going to take more of an average opinion on it. So I give One Piece a 7. And there's quite a bit to say about why I'm giving it a 7. I used to have it as an 8, but I dropped it recently to 7. And the problem with One Piece is the same problem that you're going to have with Naruto or any long running anime. You're going to take one of two routes. You are either, well, there's actually three routes. If you have a long running anime, there's three routes you can take. You can either use fillers, you can stretch out the anime, or you can take breaks. Now, when you put in fillers, that is probably the worst option. That creates the worst quality. That's what Bleach did. That's what Naruto did. So that's why I cannot call them amazing anime because 40% of the show is filler. So when they're not doing fillers, they're doing great though. One Piece went for the stretching option. So One Piece, instead of doing a bunch of fillers, they decided let's just stretch out all the episodes. Yeah, so what One Piece did is they decided to stretch out all the episodes. Now, some other anime they take like Boku no Hero or like maybe like Fairy Tail in a way or Black Clover, where it's like when they feel like they're getting caught up with the manga, they just take a break. Like Boku no Hero does that. I think that's probably the best example of how to do it properly. They do 26 episodes, or they do like 2 seasons. They take a break of 6 months and then they start over, and it keeps the quality good. It doesn't, they don't have to put in fillers, and everybody's happy. And yes, we have to take a break of 6 months, but that's really the best option. So with One Piece, they decided to go for this like stretching option, and it just creates this poor quality that it's always just a little bit behind the manga, and it's just so annoying, and it creates poor quality. And if the manga's dragging, the anime drags even more. So it just creates a very poor quality anime. Now, in the early days of One Piece, I'm a huge fan of the early episodes. I thought it was amazing. There are some arcs that are like nines and tens. Marineford, amazing arc. I give Marineford like a 10 out of 10. So a lot of the early One Piece was a little more faster paced. There was a lot more going on. It was faster. Once you get up to about episode 500 or so, once you get to the New World, that is where the quality really tanked. Like it just went really stretched out. And when we got to Doflamingo and Dressrosa was when I was like, what? Like Dressrosa took forever to finish. I was like 2 years, I think, 2 years to finish Dressrosa, if not more. It just felt like it was dragging on forever. And so the quality got worse, and now pretty much every arc takes like 2 years to finish, and so it's no wonder people are complaining about One Piece. And I'm still watching it, I'll still watch it, to catch up. But when you watch an episode of One Piece, you don't expect much to happen every episode. You're like, you just kind of you come in with low expectations, like, yeah, there isn't going to be much going on. And yeah, it's pretty much been like that for a long time. The Wano arc it's better. The quality's starting to go back up, but it's still, it was bad. It was subpar for too long. Like basically the first half of One Piece, I give it like an 8 maybe, but the second half it's like down in the 6 range probably. So that's why if I had to give One Piece an average score, it's probably 7. Um, the second half, yeah, the second half would probably be a 6. The first half probably an 8 out of 10. So that's why I average it out to about a 7. Now, so is 8.68 too high? Yeah, 8.68 is definitely too high. Because of the quality. Now, One Piece at its best, if we're talking like the best parts of One Piece, if they weren't stretching out One Piece and they were making it, if they cut like, if it was going twice the speed that it's going at right now, and they were doing that for the last 500 episodes or so, then maybe the score would be justified. Maybe. In the future, if they create a One Piece Kai where it's like abridged and it actually gets, they make it more interesting and they don't stretch it out, maybe that would deserve a score like this. Even then, I'm not so sure. But yeah, I would probably drop One Piece's score by at least a full point. Like I'm a One Piece fan, but I'm gonna drop it at least a full point because I mean the pacing's just awful. I'm sorry, like it's probably some of the worst pacing ever. I mean, potentially worse than Dragon Ball Z. Like I have to say, it's probably even worse than Dragon Ball Z's pacing, which is really bad. I mean, it could be it's probably the worst pacing ever, potentially the worst pacing ever, because anime don't generally get up to 1,000 episodes. So you have a very dedicated fan base. Obviously, if after 1,000 episodes people are still watching it despite all the problems, you have very dedicated One Piece. So they're just going off nostalgia. I'm just going off of it because, like, I want to finish it. I want to finish One Piece, and I do think it's a good anime. It's potentially be good. It's just that just the pacing's terrible. In the past, they would take breaks. They haven't been doing that in so long. They're just going to stretch it out. They decided that that's just what they're going to do. So anyway, so yeah, I've said a lot there, but yeah, One Piece, I'm gonna have to draw it probably a full point, and I have a lot to say, but yeah, and One Piece at its best might deserve that, but we're talking like Marineford. Yeah, Marineford's probably my favorite arc. That's probably a 10, but yeah, there just aren't that many arcs like that. It's not all arcs, and some of them are just stretched out beyond belief. So now the movies, I'm probably not going to go to the movies. Like, there's so much to say here. All these spin-offs, movies, specials. I'm just talking about the show in general. But yeah, I'm not going to make like a separate video for this stuff. But yeah, so One Piece it's a good anime. Like, yeah, definitely. Watch it. But it's one of the it's an epic. But just know that you're going to be there for a long time. Like, yeah, it's over 1,000 episodes at this point. It's even more than 1,020. I think it's like at 1,040 now. I forget. I lost track. I'm only like 15 or 20 episodes behind. So yeah. Anyway, I'm giving it a 7. Is it overrated? Yes. So I'm sorry, One Piece fans, but I'm just giving you the sad truth. It's a hard truth, but yeah, One Piece is overrated. This score is much higher than it should be. In reality, it's so. Anyway, see you next time.